Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ebony from Essence of Ebony Body. Welcome to those if this is your first time, and hello to those who are returning. Today, so basically what as the description says, the caption says, whatever, um, or the title, y'all know what I meant. As the title says, so these are things you should do before placing like your first really big order. Like this is kind of in the testing process. So the first thing I would recommend doing is figuring out your budget, like that you plan on like doing for that you plan on doing, like as far as like the budget that you plan on when you actually make your big purchase. So figuring out like what you plan on pricing your stuff for. So like say like you've already found your vendor, the one that you're interested in, and just figuring out the budget that you want to go off with and start it out with. That's the first thing I would recommend. Now that you decided that, I would suggest testing out the quality of everything, and our opinions could be different on like what you find quality, what I find is quality. So it's up to you to make sure that you test out the vendors, their quality. So with lingerie, I would suggest getting different type of lace stuff, satin, or whatever types of lingerie that you plan on selling. Make sure you test out those qualities. Okay, so make sure you definitely test out those qualities. So I think I kind of said both of those fast. So the first one is figuring out your budget, figuring out your budget based off the vendor, if this is the vendor that you're interested in, right? So you figure out the budget, and then the second thing is test out the fabric. You want to make sure, like whatever types, like I said before, just now, I just am reiterating, making sure you test out the fabrics that are good for you. And then the third thing I would suggest doing is buying different sizes. So if you plan on being like a small, medium, and large, like if you smell like oh my gosh, smell like what in the world? If you plan on selling us like small, medium, and large, or 2X, 3X, 4X, 5, whatever size you plan on selling, you should buy. You don't have to buy every single size, but what I would suggest is getting the average sizes, which is like a medium and a large, testing those out because those are average size, and you can kind of tell what that is. And then I would usually get the biggest sizes you plan on selling, just to make sure that size is true to size. Because the worst thing you want to do is, get some stuff like you buy one thing and it's only good in that stuff, even though like it's only good in that one. So you want to know what you should be, I don't know. You just want to make sure that you don't put all your eggs in one basket for one vendor. And also, I just side note, as a vendor, you as a business owner, like who sells clothing or just anything, always have more than one vendor. You cannot like expect to run your business solely off of one vendor. Like you can't do that. I mean, you can, but in my experience, I feel like it's best to have more than one. Like you just got to do it. But yeah, make sure you test out those different sizes, because if you do not test out those different sizes, you will be very upset when you think that you're going to get, you want to have an idea when it comes to like sizing charts. And then like even though you may or may not know every single customer that you get, but you can be able to eyeball if sometimes you can eyeball if that person would or wouldn't be able to, fit some of those sizes. Like for instance, if one of your followers or somebody on Instagram or something like that, they hit you up and they're like, hey, I normally, like like if they hit you up and ask you about a question, you can have an idea, like if you go on their page, look at their profile pictures or something like that, or anything like that, to have an idea to let them know that it may fit them or it should fit them, or if they should size up or size down. So you want to definitely make sure those are things that you test for. And then the last thing I would suggest doing, so decide, like this goes back to number 2. Sorry, I'm looking at my phone. Oh wow, I went to something else. Let me go back to it. Okay, you want to decide after number 2, you decided what your sorry with that. Number 1, you decided what your budget was. So you want to go back to that, and number 4, and figure out your quantity. I suggest starting really low unless you got it like that. If you got enough money um to do it that way, like as far as to buy like heck of quantity, go ahead and go for it. I mean, don't max out your card or nothing like that. But if you can do a lot, do a lot. Not a lot. I would just say um like first starting out, unless you know for sure you got heck of different people who wants to buy. Because if you do the proper preparation, and there's so many different ways to do that, depending on who you're trying to target and stuff like that, you can have a successful launch day, you know? Um, or just in general, you can it can be really successful. So it just all depends on your preparation. That's what I will say. Okay. But you know, in most cases, somebody who's new to business, it can be kind of hard getting your sales out there. So you kind of don't want to overdo it because then you become stressed and desperate. You start running heck of sales, doing heck of stuff that you don't necessarily have to do because you broke your pockets. So you don't want to do nothing. You don't want to be too extreme. So I would suggest maybe starting out with two of each. And then the ones that you plan on having modeled, I would say three, just to get three of those. You can start off with more, whatever your budget is, but I'm just saying like a minimum, at least two or three. Yeah, at least about two or three at the minimum. You can get more, like I said, but in the beginning, I know people kind of like lingerie and stuff like that, lingerie clothes and stuff like that. People want to see lots of quantities of different styles. Like for instance, once you figure out who you're marketing to, and that's something you need to do before you do all of this, figure out who you're marketing to, you know, who you want to sell your lingerie to. Once you figure out who exactly you want to sell your lingerie to, you can pretty much go from there. Then you decide of the types of styles of lingerie that you want to sell, and you want to try to get little quantities of that. Because right now in the beginning phase, you're testing out. You don't want to get, the reason why I say you don't want to get too much, because you don't know what your audience likes yet. So you can get like, I realized my audience likes, they like something different than what I initially started out with. And now I'm making the transition to switch over to those more of those types of lingerie styles. Because that's the, I mean, I knew who I wanted to market to. I wasn't exactly sure what they were looking for. And that's because of poor preparation. So make sure before, like, I know everybody's starting a new business, everybody's getting out there doing that type of stuff. But before you just rush and do it, do a little bit of research, okay? Like, I know we see a lot of stuff by starting now. Definitely, like, you definitely want to start now. And that's a part of the starting, is doing your research. Because, what is it? Failing to fail. I mean, failing to prepare prepares you to fail. Something like that. I think that's the quote. I don't know. But if you are not doing proper preparation, you will sort of I'm not going to say waste money, because knowledge is not wasting money. And in business, you're constantly going to learn new, like more and more things. So it wasn't a waste, but it helped me realize now, okay, I should have been looking at other people who sell lingerie. I should have been looking at the people who are liking the posts of those companies that like lingerie. Like, it's just a lot of stuff that you want to look into before you decide to completely just launch your business and do all this other type of stuff. Just start just decide who you want to sell to, and then that's the type of lingerie, the styles of lingerie that you want to buy. Because there is different types of lingerie. There's some that's like really risque. There's some that's a little neutral. There's some for like, people who are more modest. So you got to figure out who you're selling to. Once you realize that, then I would suggest, then you can go based off the quantities. But again, like, you don't want to overdo it. You want to figure out some styles, test them out, see what's what out there. And then also, people are still getting to learn about you. So that's why I say, like, make sure you prep for your launch. Do some, maybe like, once you find your vendor, I know I'm going a little bit off. This is a good tip to tell you guys. Because this is a part of, before you launch and stuff like that. So Once you find your vendor, you've done everything that I said, 1 through 3, already figured out everything, you tested everything, everything's good. You don't want to launch the next day. I would suggest getting people amped up, because if you haven't built up no momentum, no audience or nothing like coming up, like, unless the only people who could do that is like Beyonce. But again, everybody knows Beyonce. The people really don't know you yet. So you got to build up some hype. You got to get some followers. You got to get some stuff going on. You got to have a friend tell a friend, and that type of thing. And then, it'll help you have a successful launch day. I did mine 2 weeks. I think I prepared. I started like talking about myself like 2 weeks to a month, maybe. I think it was like 3 weeks, maybe a month. I don't know. I can't remember. But I wish I would have waited a little bit longer and did a little bit more research. But I'm like, again, like I said, I'm glad that I did things the way I did. Like, everything I do, like, I learned from it, and that's the good thing about business. You're always going to continue to learn, continue to have different changes. It's always going to be like a whirlwind of different things. So make sure you stay focused. Make sure you follow all those instructions, and I'm just going to go through one more time. So the first one is to figure out your budget. Second one is to test the fabrics. Third one is to test the sizes. And the fourth one, last but not least, is to, what? Give me a second. I completely forgot. Oh, buy your quantity. Like, buy the right amount of quantity. You don't want to overdo it unless you got the money, or or you know what I'm saying, or unless you did like a pre-order type thing. Sorry. And that's another thing. I guess I'll tell y'all real fast. Pre-order. And I'm not talking about the pre-order method. I'm talking about, like, for instance, say like you built, like I said, you built up the momentum or whatever about getting built up the, is that the word? I keep saying momentum, but I'm not sure if that's the word I'm actually looking for. You built up the something. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Build up the hype. There you go. You build up the hype and stuff around your lingerie brand. And you decide, like, you start posting some stuff, like you've already gotten your pictures and stuff like that. Yeah, you've already gotten your pictures and stuff like that. And you can have people pre-order the set. You already got it on hand, but you're not dropping it until your launch date. And then that's when you can sort of try to get a test or a feel of everything too. Like, you can have people pre-order, like prepay for it. But that, I'm not, like, you could just do some little stuff like that if you wanted to do, like, that's another way you could decide, like, what people are gravitating to, what they're liking and stuff like that. But that's all a part of building the hype. So then you know what to buy, and you know what to maybe steer clear from. And colors matter too. So they might like that style, but just not in that color or something like that. But yeah, I just wanted to come back in and, talk to you guys about that, because I know I've been promising a video, but I've been having a lot going on. I am moving out of state, so I moved out of state. I just recently got certified for body sculpting, so I could do that as well. But it's a lot going on right now, and I'm trying to get it all together. And I'm definitely going to be making videos. I definitely want to do some videos about, like, the apartment tours, like, while I'm out there. Like, I don't know. Let me know if y'all want to see that. I'm also coming up with some more videos. I know I always say that, but life is busy. I don't know if y'all know, but life is busy. But I am going to help you guys out, because I noticed, like, I started this lingerie company, and there's really not a lot of stuff. Like, I get a lot of my information, like marketing skills and everything, like, basically from, like, clothing boutiques. And clothing boutiques are, like, a little different, because, like, I'm very limited on where, like, I'm not gonna say I'm not very, but I am limited on where I could take pictures. Like, girls who have clothing boutiques, they can go outside, they can go over here, do that. Like, we gotta be indoors or somewhere where people can't see you, because, you don't want anybody just staring at you. Like, I mean, they'll see it online, but it's different in person, So it's like some of the stuff that they try to tell us is, like, hard, but I'm definitely going to try to help with this this lingerie stuff, because there's really not a lot of knowledge out here. And I do apologize for my absence. But if you have made it this far, please leave a heart and a crown. That's the thing, because we love the kings and queens out here. But yeah, make sure y'all stay positive. If you have any questions, please leave the comments below. I am, like I said, I'm going to come back and give me some ideas of what you guys been looking for online. Like some questions. Don't ask me for vendors. I already said no. And I'm not even being rude. I don't know if I said this in my previous video, but you just got to think about it. Like, because, some people say, oh, you're hating because you don't want to see another black woman, or not even a black woman, just a woman in general win. But no, that's definitely not the truth. That's just like, for instance, you got McDonald's, you got Wendy's, and you got Burger King and Carl's Jr. They all sell hamburgers, but I guarantee you, they do not tell each other where they got the beef from. They don't. They don't tell each other where they got the cheese, the buns, the sesame seeds, or whatever. They don't tell each other, but they're all winning, okay? So remember that. And then, what people do, they hard work and the research, that's a part of being a business owner, okay? I know I didn't talk about a lot of stuff in this video, I know. But that's a part of being a business owner. You can't be passionate about something and not do no research on it. Like, if something is just given to you, you're not going to appreciate it, like, as much. You know what I'm saying? So think of it like that. But anything else, if y'all got any questions, please do not hesitate to ask me, because I don't mind asking. Put them in the comment box. Let me know. Let me know, like, if you oh, sorry. Let me know if y'all have any topics, again, like you guys want to talk about. And if you made it this far, why haven't you subscribed? Just go ahead and subscribe to my channel, because I will be back. Okay, I'm holding myself to it. Pinky promise, I'm near. But anyway, you guys have a great evening, and I want to thank you so much for watching, especially if you took this long. Alrighty, have a great rest of your day. Bye.